Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I'm Dr. Angel Storm. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the evolution of narcissists. Oftentimes I'm asked this, especially when I'm doing my one-on-one coaching, in the beginning, this is how the narcissist was, and actually the full of love and really caring, all that kind of stuff. What's interesting to me is narcissists who can keep up that part of the abuse, the love bombing phase of the abuse, for a longer period of time than normal, before you start to recognize that this is a pattern. So let's say it can be several years even before they start to change or show their true colors, right? So how does this happen, or is there such a thing as the evolution of narcissists? Every narcissist is still different because they have a personality, they have their own history, and they have ultimately their own goals. There's a reason why they're doing the things that they are doing. They are after something, and so every one of them will have a different goal, and that will dictate the evolution process for them. One thing that I think it's really important for people to know is that narcissists are constantly perfecting their craft, constantly. So they are always looking to see what lies work, what lies don't work, even their body language, even the way that they present the lie to you. Okay, if I stand this way, if my body posture is this way, if my tone of voice is this way, narcissists are constantly perfecting their craft, constantly. That never stops. And so this is why for some people it can be quite jarring that they've gone their whole life and never met a narcissist until they're older or whatever. Like, they've never been around a narcissist until this certain person came in. And usually those people are the stories that I hear where the most chaos is caused in their life, in the victim's life. And the reason for this is because the narcissist has been able to perfect their craft over years and even over decades. So they're extremely good at what they do. So number one, I want to just talk to you really quickly about strategy. Strategy has to do with the overall plan, right? And then within the strategy, we use tactics to implement that strategy, meaning the individual methods by which the strategy will be accomplished. So the strategy is still going to be the same, and the cycle of abuse is still the same. So typically there's going to be a love bombing phase, and again, this can last for however long the specific narcissist you're dealing with needs it to. And that will be followed by the devaluation phase, followed by the discard phase, followed by the hoovering stage, and then it leads back again into the love bombing stage. That's typically the cycle. And the period of time each one of those lasts for is different based on the narcissist, based on what the narcissist needs, based on how much they are perfecting their craft. One of the things that I want to quick interject here is that oftentimes when you've been in this phase, or you're in this cycle with the narcissist and you're in the discard phase, whenever you're in the discard phase, the narcissist has already found a new supply. So the narcissist has already moved on to somebody else. This doesn't just mean romantic relationships, by the way. This can be a work relationship. This can be any type of situation. When you are in the discard phase, the narcissist has already found a new supply who's in the love bombing stage. While they're in the love bombing stage, they too will eventually go through the devaluation and discard phases. And typically, after a period of time, that hoovering stage, they'll come back to do the love bombing stage. While they were with the other supply, they've grown better at their craft, and they're coming back to use those new tools on you. So you need to understand that there's two reasons why it's harder every time that the narcissist comes back for you to get out. Number one, you're strengthening the trauma bond. You're making it literally harder for your body to come off of the drug that you are using. And number two, it's because the narcissist is actually getting better at being a narcissist. The narcissist is becoming more more able to know what your buttons are, so when to push them, how to push them, and how to reel you back in. The narcissist is perfecting this every single time that there's a break in between when you guys are talking. That's not because, you know, he or she is sitting in their room missing you. It's because they're out there getting better at what they're doing, so that when they come back, they have a better way to abuse you. You need to understand that this is a serious issue. This isn't something that you should just think of like, oh, this is just our cycle, it doesn't really matter, like we do this all the time. When you diminish what's actually happening, you're strengthening and even widening the open door for the narcissist to come in and strengthen this trauma bond with you. So it's really important that you acknowledge this for what it is. This is abuse happening on multiple levels to multiple different people, all simultaneously. So that's number one. Getting back to how narcissists evolve, it does always matter about what their ultimate goal is. Narcissists evolve when they need to get something that they either haven't gotten before, or they need to get better at getting that thing this time around. So let me give you a couple of examples. Narcissists are very aware of the way that their life looks to other people, how they are perceived by others, and they want the way that they are perceived by others to be exactly perfect. And so narcissists are aware at a certain age they should be married, they should have children, and they will start to pursue somebody in this phase where that will match societal norms. And this is because they need that facade. They need it to look a certain way. This can be for different reasons. Number one, it could be that they have a certain type of career or position that it requires them to have a certain lifestyle or whatever that people can kind of point to. This is especially true in religious positions and things like that. So you need to be aware of, like, what is this narcissist all about? What is the atmosphere that he's or she is primarily operating in? You want to know that, because that's going to give you a good idea about what their goals are going to be. If they want to change careers, if they want to start pursuing something outside of what they've been doing, they'll also start developing new skills so that they can fit into that new social circle. And so this is why I say pay attention to what the narcissist is into, the atmosphere, the social circle, the kinds of people that they hang out with, because this is going to tell you what's important to them and what their next goals are. And that will clue you in on what your piece of the puzzle here is, the reason why the narcissist is with you or has been with you. One of the things that is very disturbing about this whole thing is that the victim during this time often feels like the narcissist has never felt like this for somebody else, or they've never had such a long relationship, or they've never had a relationship like this one. They've heard it from all of the friends and the family members of the narcissist that this is true. You need to understand that the flying monkeys have also evolved with the narcissist. So the flying monkeys have learned real quick what to say and what not to say to somebody who is with the narcissist, or that the narcissist is when the narcissist is interested in building something with somebody. So it doesn't need to just be a romantic relationship. This could be a work relationship. When they're in that building mode of trying to connect with somebody, the flying monkeys have also evolved about what to say, what not to say. And so that sounds like a great thing to say to somebody who's in a new relationship with a narcissist. So you need to understand that the whole circle around the narcissist has also evolved. They have also learned what to say, when to say it, how to say it, all that type of stuff. They've learned very well about how to isolate the narcissist and insulate them from the consequences of any of their behaviors and actions. So be aware of that as well. The older that the narcissist is, obviously the more knowledge, the more wisdom, the more ability they will have to manipulate people. So when this is one thing that I try to have my clients be mindful of, and it isn't ageism. I'm letting you know that that person has had a lot of experience in this, in their life, in running their life this way. And if they are still doing what they've been doing, it's because they've never been told they can't. They've never run into boundaries, and they will not be the ones to change. So you need to understand that it's you who needs to be the one to change, because the narcissist is only perfecting their craft. They're only going to get better at being a narcissist. They're not going to kind of see the light and change their ways and that kind of thing. They're going to get better and better and better, especially when there's no need for them to change, especially when they've gotten to where they are in life, usually because of their narcissism, because of it. Not in spite of it, but because they've been such good liars and manipulators and quite charming and things like that. Because of those things and getting better in those areas, they've gotten to where they are in life. So they have no reason to change. And it's very important that you recognize they're changing, but for the worse. They're changing into more of a narcissist. And again, they've had their whole life to perfect this craft that they are implementing on you. The abuse that they are putting on you, they've actually studied, for decades of their life to be able to do this and get away with it. So is there an evolution of a narcissist? Yes, but it's to make them more into a narcissist. The strategy tends to stay the same. The cycle tends to stay the same. So like I was saying, the love bombing, the devaluation, the discard, the hoovering phases, those stay the same. The tactics change, but it's only to get better at their tactics and use them. And I think it's really important that people understand too. This is why I'm so for no contact. Why I tell people to go no contact. If you don't have children or a business venture, or if there's no legal reason why you need to be in contact with a narcissist, you need to go no contact, because you're only allowing them to use you to get to be a better abuser. They're going to use you to get to be a better abuser, either for yourself, even against yourself. You're literally allowing them to get better at abusing you specifically, and towards other people. There's always going to be the discard phase, always. There's always going to be a hoovering phase. And you need to understand that during those phases especially, they're with other supplies. They could be with other supplies during the entire thing, but especially then. Narcissists never cut ties with somebody unless they have a supply already lined up, at least one. And so it's important that you understand you're facilitating, you're furthering the abuse when you don't go no contact, because this is the only type of boundary that a narcissist understands. I hope this video has helped you, and if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel below and turn on the little bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel.